So today is a very interesting topic of the book that I am reading, Code of the Extraordinary Mind by Vishen Lakiani. And today is the fifth day of, uh, of the book, and it says the difference between a Buddha and a badass. So, some time back, I got a compliment from somebody. Uh, like say you being a badass, and that was a style from the western people who kind of mix this word into a compliment. So that was a compliment for me. So that also added to my curiosity as to how how somebody perceives me to be a badass. So it is like say the author in this book, he conceptualize that the Buddha is a very pure kind of person, and the badass is a person who is street smart and who bends some reality. In any case, he talks about bending reality, right? So whoever is like manipulates the circumstances according to his or her own good or interest or selfish motives or whatever, that is a badass. So that is how it started. So let me today, whatever learning I had, whatever I read, whatever I heard, whatever came to my mind, all of that, because when you start your day with something of that kind of a definition, your mind starts thinking around that. Don't you agree to that? So I have kind of listed down all that came to my mind, and let me share that. Just a minute. Let us start from here. So I woke up in the morning, and the first thing I wrote down was my gratitude. I don't even remember what kind of gratitude I wrote, but that is a process, because your mind is in some alpha, beta, gamma, delta, whatever stage it is, when it is kind of open to suggestion. So that is why, as soon as you wake up, even if you think that you are fully awake, you should start writing down those things, because that is when, if you write something of gratitude or something like segmenting the things that you look forward for the day, then all those things come true. So that is what I did. And this was yesterday's score that was going on inside my mind as to what score should I give. So 1st April, I gave that score. Like say, I'm although I feel a little bit of stress and anxiety, because I have set down a vision for the future which is not yet taken shape. But I still am very happy about being wherever I am, because this also is a huge transition from my earlier stages. So I kind of gave it a score of 1, when I am surely in the quadrant of bending reality, because I'm happy. Also, I have a vision. I haven't started achieving. That is why I gave the score 0, score 1, right? And then I was part of the Women Growth Summit, wherein uh, Pooja Punit, she explains about 4 kinds of avatar that women can take. The first is Queen Bee, victory log. Second is kind of kind angel, when you have to work on your tonality. Then divine feminine, when you have to work on your gratitude aspects. Then warrior princess, the five no's that you have to tell. And Chinha Raheja is the next one in the sequence, and no one can give you power. So this is a very important thing that she was telling you. So you have to create your own power, and your power, once you know to tap into that sequence and that inner self, then it is limitless. That is what she was saying. And the last is the power. She makes it a combination of personality, ownership, willingness, energy, and resilience. Resilience, I resonate with her because that is a big part of whatever I am trying to tell you. Energy, of course, is required. Willingness is required. Willingness to test, experiment. This also is required. Ownership of your own personality and your own vision is required, and of course, personality. And this is what I read of Adam Grant when he is telling that your core value is closer. If you can't make a master plan, you can only gauge whether you are on a meaningful path or not. You only need to have a compass because you have to adjust, quick readjustment of direction, because things happen very quickly in this world. And then being spiritual, so this starts with the story, this lesson of vision Lakiani, where people think that people think that spiritual means, when you are spiritual, you are kind of you have to leave your ego, and you want to go for money, all the riches and abundance. That is what spiritual means. It is not like that. He says that spiritual means it is about when somebody is able to shake up, rattle, reach out and shape the world, right? So that is the badass that he was saying. And about egolessness, so ego is there to protect us, right? So Ken Wilber says that it is more than personal. It is personal plus and trans personal. It is not fable. It should push and revolutionize age-old thought process. Whatever old is there, not anymore is prevalent here, and it is not relevant also. And physical, emotional, and mental dimensions have to be explored, because that is what we get when being spiritual. But once we get spiritual, right, so we have to come with more power, more fire, right? And if we get plugged into soul and spirit, and we have to express those through the lower dimensions, which we call as ego, desire, manifestation, and all that. Those are lower dimensions, but we have to go through that, establish those concrete results. And and that is not something a crime, right, in the spiritual world. So do not diminish yourself saying that these parts are not relevant to me. That is what you need to uh, think about yourself. So what I mean so far is, like say, when you are spiritual, right, when you are spiritual, you have to have money, right? You have to have power, you have to control, you have to manipulate. So that is how the badass comes into being. But all this without any attachment towards the every process, because without attachment you need to do, otherwise the ego comes, and suppose there is a failure, and you have to welcome failure, right? Unless you fail few times, as Sri Sri Ravi Shankar Gurudev says, unless you make mistakes, fail few times, you are not going to gain confidence. If there is no confidence, then how you are going to deal with the world? You know, people who are there to manipulate things according to their own interest, those people, how do you handle? Unless you handle them, I say you are not going to go through with your vision, your mission. Right? Understood? So, uh, so that is where do not diminish yourself. And then love and power. Martin Luther King asks one question: how do you know that you are using spiritual powers to shake up the world? So, if so, he describes the spirituality in a way that power without love is reckless and abusive, and love without power is sentimental and anemic. Power, sorry, power at its best is love, implementing the demands of justice, and justice at its best is power, correcting everything that stands against love. So, if you look to a Hindi film kind of thing, what do you see? That is the best picturization of a person who is spiritual, who is highly devoted, highly romantic, everything. What he does to the dushman, to the person, to the villain, he does manipulation, right? Don't you think? So that is what is explained as the badass, who is a Buddha otherwise also. So yes, if you understand that. So Martin Luther King also says that love and power, one has to lucidly flow into the other. Otherwise, it is no love, no power. And you need the combined forces of power and love to do your thing. And there is money judgment story. Money is, like say, it's most of us Indians go against money, thinking that money is bad. Evil people only have money, and though people who earn lot of money, they have done so with something bad, with something bad. So if you have money, then you are necessarily an evil doing something, and we associate so many things evil about money that we block ourselves getting to riches, to abundance, right? So those blockages have to be examined within ourselves. So I have kind of, I cannot handle lot of money, while I have written my vision statement that I have to have lot of money to help the world. And how I help? I have a pura, there is some blueprint of that. I have a plan as to how I want to help the uh, people around the world, because I have a gift and I can help people and I can do a lot. And I, for that, without money, I won't have the decision making. That is why I want to have money. Otherwise, I can facilitate money as well, but I cannot help my decision. I cannot enforce my decision. Initially, I have to have my decision. Without money at your power, your own money, how can you have any decision? Because you cannot take decision about other people's money, right? So that is why I have to have money. But when I block myself with lot of negativity about my childhood experiences and other things, I have blocked money. Money is not going to come. Money is energy. You understand that, right? So money is energy, and if I block it through my sensibility and other things, it is not going to have. Are you guilty about money, or you have a bad construct about money? So remove those two, the book says. Now, Buddha and Vedas are essentially the same. Unless you know how to have what, you won't know what bothers you in spirituality, right? So Have you given up? So today, your thing is, your point to ponder is, what have you given up in spirituality? Have you given up something? Have you given up your desire? Are you feeling guilty? How do you think without money you are going to achieve something? Think about this. You know, unless unless you have a plan to achieve money, power, fame, you are not going to make any impact in the world, no matter how much you try, no matter how benevolent you are. People will always look for your success to emulate you. So you have to be there. You have to do all this. So it actually sent me into thinking. So where do I block myself? What do I do to open up this flow of abundance into my life? You know, don't you think? What do you think? How can you flow the abundance of money into your life? So I would like you to also give me comments on this video as to what is your thought process. As it is a discovery for me that I am on the number one in the bending reality in the upper right corner, and that gave me a lot of push, right? That gave me a lot of push. So I'm starting from there, and at the end of this book, I am supposed to score a lot, or I'll find out a way as to how to start creating abundance in my life. So this is what all that I have to tell you today. Hope this helps. And there are four things to sum up. The first thing is you for being spiritual, you don't have to give up anything. Your desire to fame, money, and abundance, you don't have to give that up. Egolessness is not about being restricted to yourself, but it is reaching out and express through lower dimension of whatever desire you have. Do not diminish yourself in any ways by giving up something. That Sorry, love and power are same. It is the both sides of the coin. Then we need to have combined power of forces of power and love. Then we have to let go of the money blockages that we have. And spirituality is not about giving up anything. So these are the seven main things about today's talk, today's discussion. Hope this helps you. Thank you very much for watching.